Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another week of the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. It's episode 49. Unfortunately, Will and Colin couldn't make it due to unfortunate circumstances, but Mr. McTaggart just joined the show. Let's get it. Oh, we're back on the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's another crazy week, and we got lots to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're going to be chatting about Major Strikes Back. We're talking about New York legalizing some weed. We're going to talk about Bad Baby and the fact that she managed to make $1 million in 6 hours on OnlyFans. We're going to talk about our favorite superhero is back. We got to talk about Florida Man tonight. And we're going to talk about Vermont, some questionable decisions that Governor Scott may have made. So, without further ado, welcoming to our spotlight stage our lovely co-host. God, he's so beautiful. And a man that had to change his shirt because it looked like he had brick suspenders on earlier. Welcoming to our spotlight stage, Mr. G.W. Foley.
Oh, hey. I feel like I want to be in like a 90s rap video. Be like, hey, what? We don't give a fuck. Something like that. Yes, I had to change my shirt. By the way, before I get into this, I just want to say that I am not wearing pants.
Woo!
Yes, it was finally warm enough where I can take the pants off and be comfortable. So I'm back to form. I'm feeling good. I did have to change my shirt. I had a lovely shirt that was pink and salmon, and there was like a hint of like green right here, and it just totally fucked with the green screen, which it happens. What's been going on in my life? I went outside for a cigarette today, and I was minding my business, and I saw a woman jogging, and I just wanted to shout out to her. Yeah, you go, girl. You got this. In like support and like solidarity, because I know running's hard. It's very strenuous, and I can see that someone would want support doing that. I didn't, because I didn't want to sound like a cat caller, and like I got to realize that like I just need to shut the fuck up when I'm in public, because everything as a straight white dude, like everything I say will be construed as sexual harassment. I can be like, hey, those are some pretty flowers. And someone will be like, oh, he was talking about my vagina. Which is tragic, because I don't think like that. Like, I mean, I do think of women sexually, because I have a wife who I find very attractive and will do nasty things to, with her consent, of course. But like I don't like go out being like, damn, that girl is so fine, I gotta talk to her, give her my number, because I'm not that type of guy. Like I really, and I don't like guys like that, if that makes sense. Like I'm very cautious when it comes to other people. So like I don't even like talking to strangers in bars. Like I would rather sit there, maybe talk with I don't even talk to my friends really when I go to bars. I'll just sit there and drink. And mind my own business, and maybe laugh every once in a while at their stories. But for the most part, like I'm so in my own little world that it doesn't matter. What else happened to me? I trying to register for classes for my online school, and I decided to take summer school, which part of me is going like, I just had 3 months off and it's now ruined. Like I haven't had 3 months off in fucking forever. like it was gonna be amazing. I was gonna watch fucking soap operas and lay on the couch eating bonbons, jerking off a lot. Like I think I could have gone for my record. By the way, my record is 13. That's how many times I've jerked off in one day. I could have gone for 14, but I was feeling a little chafed. And by the way, I don't use lube. That's something that people need to know about me. I don't even spit my hand. Like I like it rough. Yeah. I hope my mom sees this. I know my mother-in-law is gonna watch, so she's gonna be like, "Ew, I did not need to know that about him." It's fun. Like I often forget that my family watches this show, and like I always think that it's just me trying to crack up the guests and whoever else is on. So it's like me trying to make Hickory laugh. Like I forget that this goes out to the internet. After some of the questionable things that I've said, like I often worry that like I'm never going to find a job ever in my life because of this show. like I've essentially fucked myself because they're going to do like a search for GW Foley and find this show. And they're going to be like, "Oh, we can't hire him. No. That's bad juju." And I'm going to be fucking digging ditches somewhere in North Clarendon. If they have ditch digging in North Clarendon. Maybe just Clarendon. Let's expand the area. Let's see what else has been going on with me. I showered today, which yes, thank you. Here's the thing. Like I literally do this all day long. Occasionally I'll go and drop my mother-in-law off at work and come back and do this. Like there isn't a lot of movement. It's like me typing like and that's it. Like so like I'll get started in the morning and forget about all sanitary practices. Like I'm lucky to remember to wipe my ass because I'm just so focused on my work. And showering is one of those things where it's like after you don't do it for a while, you just get comfortable in your own stench because the smell goes away. Or at least it goes away for you. Like other people might be like, "Oh, he's a funky dude." I don't know. I don't care. It's like the people who smell like cat piss in Walmart. Like they don't think they smell like cat piss, but they do. They're like, okay, so I have a little fucking body odor. I'm trying to do other things with my life, and showering just gets in the way. But I had to shower because I got stamped by my wife. She has a work stamp, and she's like, "Oh, hey," and clicked me with the stamp. And I was so pissed because I knew why she did it. She did it so I would have to shower. That was the only reason. She literally, like, she knew that it would bug me enough that, like, I would have to go in and shower. But the joke was on her. It lasted for 3 days. Like, I kept looking down on it going, maybe if I just wipe on it. And I just go like this, and nothing was working. I could have washed in the sink, but my arm just, it's uncomfortable. But it's good. Like, it's good to shower. I finally changed my underwear, which normally happens when I actually shart myself. So it's good to, you know, clean, I guess. The other thing about cleaning is I have no idea how I'll go like this. Like, I like short nails, but like I have no idea how to like keep them permanently short. like other than like clipping them every day, and that just seems like a lot. So like I've gotten in a habit where I bite my nails because I have anxiety, but that just leaves like all like if you look, my nails are fucking jagged as fuck, and that's from biting. And I really wish I knew how to like take care of that, and I don't. Like people say hot sauce, put hot sauce on your nails. I fucking love hot sauce. So like I would just do like talking my finger like like I was going down on Mickey Mouse. Why Mickey Mouse and not Donald Duck? I don't know. Have you ever seen a duck's penis? It's creepy. A mouse is just kind of small and cute. Like a duck has like a pronged head and like it's weird. Like you should look like anyone who's watching a show and has no idea what I'm talking about. Go online, Google duck penis, and you'll see it. So this is week 3 of eating healthy. I haven't lost any weight yet, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing wrong. I guess I need to rethink my diet some more and maybe start eating less, because my whole idea was like, okay, I'll eat the same amount of food, but just make it healthy. So like cut out the breads and pasta and fill that with vegetables. Turns out that's not always the best idea either. Like, you have to cut down on those amounts too. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I mean, I don't want to feel hungry. I want to feel full. And if a head of lettuce will make me feel full, I'm going to fucking eat it. God damn it. It definitely takes up more lettuce than it does fucking pasta to make me feel full. That's one thing that I've noticed. Like I will eat like a giant steak and a huge fucking Caesar salad and just be like, all right, I'm content now. I'm not like on the ground like, oh, I'm sick. Where like before, like 2 pieces of lasagna and I'm out cold. I miss that feeling. Like I miss that feeling of like just like beyond stuffed, where like you don't even want to get up because you're afraid you're gonna burst. Like that's what is the best feeling in the world. Like your stomach's full and you don't want to move. And that's why I think I have a problem with food. That's my addiction. Not the speed or the alcohol or the sniffing glue. So I have a food addiction. Why couldn't it be a cool addiction like fucking? Like, why can't I be addicted to sex and just want sex all the time? And be like, oh, hey, I'm going to, like, I think I do because of the amount of masturbating I actually do during the day. Like, I might have 2 problems going congruently. But that's it for my time. Let me turn it over to Kyle, Mr. Hickory. And he's going to play some magic with us.
Yeah, we'll try to bedazzle. I'm going to show you guys here a thing with a simple, something we can do at home. We got a napkin here, which are far more available than they once were. And I'm glad everybody that showed up and got some diet advice from GW. I bet you didn't expect that on a show called the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. By this time next year, we're probably just going to be a full-on health podcast where we talk about steroids and fitness. That's I think that's the direction the show's headed. But yeah, basically, we're going to start this by tearing up a napkin into little pieces. And once we're happy with how torn up this napkin is, we're just going to take one of these pieces out. And since I'm not here with you guys, normally I would have somebody hold on to this. So since I can't do that, we're going to stick it inside the
Stick it in the box.
Stick it in the box.
Right in the box. I'm just going to grab my Sharpie. And we're going to do a little... And hopefully what happened is it came back together. But I'm not always really great at these things, so sometimes it doesn't work so good.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, close. But what might have happened is we did stick that piece in the box, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if she oh. Something like that.
Holy shit.
Nice.
And so I thought I would show you guys a second variation on this, since Kevin is just a happy surprise tonight. I figured I'd show you guys something, a version that you can show people watching and show friends and relatives. And this trick is going to take 2 napkins, right? But the part that you need to know is that your spectator can't know that you have a second one. So the second one is you're gonna crumple it up all nice and tight, right? And you're gonna keep that in this hand. You're gonna keep it in what us magicians like to refer to as palm. This is palm, right? And you don't want to be all like looking weird and like you got a hook hand. You just want to kind of keep it natural. You also want to keep both hands in that same general position, or otherwise people are like, well, why is this hand out straight and this one's all crumpled up, So what you're going to do is we're going to start by taking out the napkin. You're going to announce that you've done this trick hundreds of times, usually with a newspaper, but this show's got a budget for beer, so we are not buying newspapers because, we're saving trees or destroying napkins, whatever works. Right? And so you're going to take those crumpled up pieces once you feel like you have it fairly fair, and so we have this one in this hand, the crumpled up one, and you have this one in this hand. And what you're going to do is you're going to place it in this hand. And what we're going to do, what a magician likes to call this, is a switch, right? So I'm going to take this hand and go in my pocket for my Sharpie. And while people are distracted by that, I'm going to do a little, and switch the broken one for the fixed one. So now once you have your Sharpie out, you call that your wand. And you give it a little rub. And you show, that the napkin is restored once again. Which is great. It's a great little presentation for you to show people around your house. But people always ask me, Hickory, well, what happens if you get caught? And I say, well, you don't get caught because you're a layman. But if you're a magician like me, you just pull out your real wand and you give a little love to that broken one. And you'll find that Hickory has restored that one as well. This is how magic works. Thank you, guys. This is fun. Very excited to have our special guest on tonight. We did not anticipate on seeing him until the season finale, which will be great. Looking forward to that. But thank you very much for joining us, and please welcome to our spotlight stage the man that produces the McTaggart Attack podcast and our most famous Twitter friend. Take with that what you will. Please welcome to our spotlight stage, Mr. Kevin McTaggart.
Woo!
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. It's not the first time I've been called special. Hopefully not the last time. I don't know. Let's see, what's pissing me off today? I went to the dentist this morning. Seems like whenever on your show, I've been to the dentist.
Yeah, that's weird.
I should stop being on your show. But one funny thing is, like, they know I do stand-up comedy, and we were talking this morning, and I was saying how much I hate doing Zoom comedy shows. I'm just sick of them. I don't want to do them anymore because I'm doing an in-person show tomorrow, And then
nice.
I saw your post earlier, and I'm like, the universe fucking hates me. That's what it's got to be. So, like, out of the kindness of my heart, I had to say yes because you guys are great. You're the only Zoom show I'll do. Honestly,
We're glad to hear that.
I haven't done any other ones except for a charity one, which I didn't get paid for. But you guys don't pay me either, so who gives a fuck? But yeah. I was a little worried about my dentist appointment this morning, though, because the usual lady who assists the dentist didn't assist her this time. Like, she came through to the office and said my name, and I'm like, why are you saying my name? How do you know my name? Who are you? And like, oh, it's all right. I'm filling in for so-and-so. It turns out my dentist borrowed the assistant from someone else because her assistant was helping the new dentist that they have. But, like, this assistant, she was going on about how she was saying how, oh, don't worry, I've been here for a while, I'm very experienced, all that stuff. It's your lucky day. And I'm like, don't say that. Don't say that. That's not the thing. And it's fine. I can talk. So it worked out well enough, but I've heard some scary shit at that dentist. Like the other one, whenever they say, oh, we're going to give you some Novocaine, so be careful that you don't bite off your tongue. I'm already nervous about the dentist. I don't want to hear about possibly biting off my damn tongue. What the fuck? How is that supposed to make patients feel better? Be careful, don't do this, you might lose a limb. Fucking stupid. I've learned a few things about myself over this past year. I think a lot of us have probably learned things about ourselves. One thing is I've figured out that I have imposter syndrome, but mine is worse, I think, because I'm afraid to admit that I have imposter syndrome. Because I think people will think I'm lying about having imposter syndrome. So it's probably more like I have imposter syndrome. Just, like, learn stuff. What else have I learned? I've learned, like, that I've noticed things about myself. Like, I think I have a superpower where people like to come and vent to me about their problems. Which is fine. There are bad days, relationships, whatever. And another thing I've learned about myself is I don't give a shit about their problems. No, I have enough problems of my own to want to listen to them tell me, because like I'll have people tell me about bad stuff that's happened, and it makes me feel bad in return. Look, I already feel bad enough as it is. I don't need you to come over and tell me how fucking bad I'm supposed to be. It's ridiculous. Like, I remember one time, I had started my job. I'd been at the job for about a year, and the job was going great. And then I talked to a coworker, and she vented to me about all the bad issues she's had at this job, and then suddenly I hated the job because of her. Fucking annoying. That's pissing me off. What the fuck else? What there was? I don't fucking know. It's Monday night. I can't wait to go out and do like more open mics, at night, because I figured that's the only way I can stop watching professional wrestling. Like, the WWE is the fucking worst. Seriously. Every Monday night for their 3 hour stupid ass long Monday Night Raw, I have to say a mantra to myself: please don't suck. Please don't suck today. Please don't. I know I said this last week and it didn't work then, but hopefully it works this time. But It hardly ever happens. It's always you should. I have a toxic relationship with professional wrestling. You know, I keep going back to it, and it keeps like making me feel hungover when I hadn't even drank anything. And I tell people, no, it's okay. I like it. It's fun. It's good. I like it. But then I go and just be with it again, and it just makes me feel stupider and stupider. I feel like WWE is gaslighting me. I need to break up with professional wrestling. I think I'm fucking done. I don't know. I say that, but I'm gonna watch it again tonight because it's all week. I have to watch it all week now. So because there's nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. I learned some disturbing news. Have you guys heard of the Florida Representative Matt Gaetz?
Yep.
Okay, at least one of you have. I did a podcast episode about him, you know, to say how awful he is, and I learned some disturbing news. He and I went to the same college. That's it. That's the disturbing news. Like, he graduated from Florida State University. I graduated from Florida State University. I had him pegged as a University of Florida grad. Because he's such a douchebag, you know. I just assumed yes, I knew he was Florida, but I thought he went to UF. Because that's where all the douchebags go. University of Florida. I feel safe saying that, you know, Zoom show in Vermont. So if I've insulted your large University of Florida audience, then that's their fucking problem for choosing the wrong school. Or maybe I chose the wrong school. I don't know, because I have a criminology degree. What am I doing with that? Speaking of which, like, I keep seeing this trend on social media for canceling student debt. And I'm against it. I'm against canceling student debt. Because I paid off my student loans last year. I'm against it. Why? I'd be for it like a couple years ago. But no, you're going to start and cancel it now when I've already paid it off? Should have voted for Trump. That was I thinking. I mean, there's both senile old pieces of shit, you know? Just I could have dealt with 4 more years of Trump. Because, like, if Trump had won, there'd be no insurrection, right? Think about that. I feel pretty good watching that Q documentary. I watched that Q docuseries on HBO, and I knew it was some dude that lived with his parents. I just knew it. I was right. I'm like, it's a guy. It's this guy who doesn't seem to do anything except run a message board, and he made up all this shit, which caused everyone to believe him. But they're too stupid to realize that this guy was just lying to them the whole fucking time. But that's how much I should have voted for Trump, because then we wouldn't have had to cancel student debt. What the fuck else is pissing me off? I feel pretty good right now, actually. I think that's all I've got for this.
Oh my god, that was a great.
Let's go back to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wrong one. There we go. Okay.
No, use Collen. Name yourself Collen.
Yeah, we can go back to that if you like. Is that Collen D underneath you? Yeah, there we go. Kevin, thank you for being on the show, my friend. This is that was a great stuff. Man.
Yeah, thanks.
It's that hard in a minute. So I guess we'll keep going with your conversation and talking about senile old men. We're going to talk about Major Strikes Back. This was just last week, right after the show. We got this on CNN Politics. Some beautiful pictures of some dogs here. Fuck you, CNN. Why do you got so many ads? I'm just trying to show your shit for free on my show here.
If you're over 50, this game is a must.
Yeah, so they're not even a way to like get out of that right now. So Biden's dog Major involved in another biting incident. This was posted, updated the 31st. So just after the show last week, Biden's dog Major has been involved in another biting incident that required medical attention. Two people with knowledge of the incident tell CNN, which sounds like they don't have a source. They're just writing an article about it. The incident, which involved National Park Service's employee, took place on the White House South Lawn on Monday afternoon. The employee was working at the time and needed to stop in order to receive treatment from the White House Medical Unit. First Lady Joe Biden's press secretary, Michael LaRosa, told CNN that Major is still adjusting to his new surroundings. Yes, Major nipped someone out on a walk. Out of an abundance of caution, the individual was seen by WHMU and then returned to work without injury. I assume both you guys saw this this article, or at least about it. Kevin, I saw that you put up a TikTok video about it that was pretty funny. Talk about what you're pissed off about dogs being dogs, and that was kind of
like it's like, what is it? People are mad about Biden's dogs for acting like dogs. What the fuck? Seriously? I don't give a shit. They've pooped in the house. What dogs haven't pooped in the house?
Exactly.
They've bit strangers.
That's
whatever. Trying to protect whoever.
Give him 7.5 more years and Champ will be fine. Major will be fine.
Was the other one's name Champ?
Champ and Major, I think.
Oh, okay. My question was, and I wanted to ask you guys, who the fuck thought giving a 78-year-old man with the job of president a rescue puppy was a good idea? Like shouldn't they have just picked out and lied about the rescue part and just picked out a well-trained German Shepherd that was trained up by, like, I don't know, Atlanta PD or something, or whatever top dog
Secret
training
Service.
Yeah, like a Secret Service trained dog. They could lie, they could adopt another dog, and then do a switch out. And I'm like, who thought giving a 3-year-old German Shepherd puppy to a 78-year-old man was a good idea?
Well, I feel bad for Major because, one more and he gets a bullet in the back of his head.
Yeah, and that's scary.
Yeah.
The poor puppy doesn't deserve that. This is the third time he's made the news now, because there was the 2 bites, but there was also in like the first week, when Joe Biden tripped over him after getting out of the shower. I don't know. That whole story was weird, and I don't know if I want to get too deep into it.
No, I wouldn't do it.
That one?
Oh, let's get deep. Doesn't want to.
That was when Joe Biden broke his foot or something?
Yeah.
Really early on.
Yeah. That's right.
And that was he was tripping over the dog. Was the
right.
I bet he was tripping over Jill.
And of course, the CNN article was why Joe Biden's broken foot reveals how different. Oh, can you hear that? I didn't share the audio, did I?
No.
Okay, good. Why Joe Biden's broken foot reveals how different his White House will be from Donald Trump's. I'm like, why? Oh, I don't understand what implored you guys to write that.
I don't understand. I don't know what that means.
No, me neither. Just that, like, there's dogs in the White House again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fact that there are dogs in the White House again. Unless you count Melania.
Jason Mercier says he has a biting fetish. Yeah, Major might. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
I thought Jason was telling us that he has a biting fetish.
I think Jason does have a biting fetish.
Very well.
Let's be honest.
I mean, I wouldn't blame the guy.
Yeah.
Well,
that doesn't seem too.
Whatever your kink is, but
yeah. Wow. You have to have a willing partner. You can't just bite a bitch.
Oh, on the contrary, my friend. Major, a 3-year-old German Shepherd adopted by the Bidens in 2018, received training within the last 2 weeks, according to the White House. Like, why weren't you training this dog back in 2018? At approximately 5 p.m. Monday evening, Major was spotted on a walk on the South Lawn with a member of the White House staff. Reuters White House correspondent Jeff Mason tweeted a short video of the walk. Major's leased in the video, something he has not always been the case during other walks by the Biden dogs around the White House. That their president, first lady, or White House ground superintendent yeah, blah blah blah. But basically, yeah, that's all I really got. I just figured it would be interesting to hear your opinions on it because I don't really care other than the fact that like, why the fuck is this news? I don't understand.
It's not news.
No, it's not at all. There's so many more important things.
The dogs are acting like dogs. Let's get to more serious topics.
Exactly.
Here,
not us, but the media.
I was going to say yes, us too. We're going to move right along into more.
Well, can I say one thing about this?
Please.
It's here. I'm going to throw on the tinfoil hat for a second.
Ooh, I like that.
And there's so much about Biden that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about how he's a fucking 78-year-old man with Alzheimer's or dementia.
Yep.
They don't want to talk about that.
Not at all.
But they realize that with Trump and blasting Trump 24/7, people are expecting the same thing to do with the Bidens. And they have to come up with stories with the Bidens in order to fill that time that they created with Trump. That, like, with Trump leaving, left a giant vacuum in the news cycle. So now they have to find every little story, and innocuous stories at that. Like they can't just be like Biden bombed Syria. What the fuck? We don't want to talk about that because that that goes against the military industrial complex. But
I agree, and I actually just pulled this up real quick so that we could see it. That you're not too far from the mark, G-Dubs. This is an article. I didn't even look who by. Al Jazeera Financial saying Jim Acosta complains about post-Trump stress disorder to Brian Stelter. Then he actually goes over the hightail. Just talking about how they are, the media is in a state of panic right now because they don't have they don't have the cash cow that was Trump at one point. And which I understand, but there's plenty of other shit to report about. We're going to move. Jason says, I don't have much teeth. Lol. Well, so,
this makes the biting fetish even better. So
I guess
it's a gumming fetish.
Gumming fetish. Sorry.
I guess biting doesn't necessarily mean you're biting. It's
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Next, we're going to talk about New York State legalizes weed. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about weed legalization?
It's about fucking time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I would agree. It's been. I felt like this was one of those things that was right on the verge, as like I was back in high school. You know what I mean? like half my life ago, I was like, "Oh, weed's going to become legal soon. It's got to be," and then not so much. But we do have a USA Today article pulled up real quick. New York Times becomes the 15th state to legalize weed. New York's become the 15th state to legalize possession of marijuana for recreational use, allowing anyone over the age of 21 to possess up to 3 ounces. Cuomo signed the Marijuana Taxation and Regulation Act into law Wednesday afternoon, a day after the legislation approved it by a wide margin. Legislation passed at 43-20 in the Senate and 149 in the Assembly, with Democrats controlling both chambers. Of course, it's New York. That goes without saying. Effective immediately, it is no longer a crime or violation to possess up to 3 ounces of marijuana in New York. So
God damn.
That was effective immediately. So people literally went from criminals to law-abiding citizens like that second this article got published.
Wow.
But for the next year, at least, New York will be in something of a gray area. Dispensary and on-site consumption site sales of marijuana cannot begin until April 1st, 2022, which raises the question, was this a giant April Fool's joke? Is this one of the biggest trolls we've ever seen? That's a beautiful looking little field that's not nearly ready for harvest. The measure creates a regulatory system to oversee the cannabis industry. And that's what I wanted to ask you guys about, because that's what I don't necessarily like about legalization is the difference between decriminalization and legalization is the government controlling it.
Yeah.
Right? So in theory, a libertarian would want decriminalization of drugs, but not necessarily legalization, because then we're paying tax dollars,
right,
on cannabis, which I think is great for the state. I don't think that's great for the person. I could be. I mean, I'd like to hear what you guys think about that too, because I know we have wildly different political views. G-Dubs, what do you think?
I part of me is going. I'm torn because legalization means that I don't have to deal with drug dealers.
That's true.
Like,
But it means you have to deal with state-sanctioned drug dealers.
Right. Which I don't have to sit in their fucking apartment and listen to their Fish cover band.
That's true.
Decriminalization still leaves a black market, which is the majority of the crime happens because of a black market. Legalization means that the black market is mostly taken care of. And I say mostly because depending on their tax structure and supply, like there's still going to be black market dealers. The same thing with booze. There's still fucking moonshiners now.
Yep. Bootlegging is a thing.
Yes. Still. And they're not going to get rid of it. And especially with minors. But it's a step in the right direction. And I would rather have my pay tax dollars going to what other fund that marijuana research or whatever that they go to than the fucking criminals in war.
That's true. Kevin, what do you think? Are you a fan of legalization or no?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I don't use it myself, but I think it should be legal. I think it's, from what I understand, it's definitely the least harmful of all the drugs, you know?
Yeah, definitely pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. I think it's definitely less harmful than pain medications, you know, something like opioids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about from my perspective, like athletes, professional athletes, like football players who suffered a whole shitload of concussions, or anyone that suffers a lot of concussions, you know, what do they usually do? They give them a bunch of painkillers and they end up going crazy or something like that, you know, but like if you give them, they start smoking pot and they're fine. Like, I think that's what happened to Jim McMahon, the Bears quarterback from back in the, I think he smokes weed now or something like that. And his head doesn't hurt anymore. You know, I think we definitely need to research it more and find out. I'm sure there's a lot of great stuff that we can do with it. You know, we can cure a lot more stuff.
There's a lot of interesting. Cannabis has a lot of interesting properties that I don't think we're. Yeah, it's a great point. Nick writes in. He says, "I want to know why they can have 3 ounces when we can only have 2. I meant we can only have 1 ounce." Yeah, that's a very good question, Nick. That was actually something GW and I mentioned before the show, was that the fact that New York's you're allowed to have 3 ounces on your person. In Vermont, you're allowed to have 1 ounce of cannabis. And anything over that, up to 2 ounces is like a fine. And then up to over 2 is some type of legal penalty, which is silly. Because, and I'll ask you guys, because I don't get the marijuana limit thing, because there's no limit at the goddamn liquor store. Like, if I walk in with $10,000 and I want to buy $10,000 worth of liquor, I am fully within my legal right to purchase as much as I can pay for. Some reason, and I get dealing and this and that, but with a legalized system, what do you guys think about that?
Well,
there should be limits.
No, I don't. I think the limits are stupid and arbitrary. And the fact that we don't have a way of supplying demand right now.
Yeah. Because
we don't have a legal infrastructure for marijuana. So that means that there's people out there that have to have more than 1 ounce on them.
Yeah, to supply everybody that needs 1 ounce.
Yeah. Yep. And it's not fair to those people. Like, those people should be regulated by the state. I can't believe that those words just came out of my mouth.
Wow.
It's also completely insane because anybody who's ever grown marijuana in their life knows that growing 1 ounce would be a struggle. Like if you're
Yeah.
good at it anyways. Like, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people who grow shitty pot plants who only get a little bit. But anybody who's done it successfully knows that an ounce is like if you only harvested an ounce per plant, it would probably not be worth the electricity you put into it.
Yeah.
Nick Waters also said 5 grams of hash. I assume, I don't know if that was in New York or Vermont. I'm assuming that's Vermont. Jason said toga. It's about time for a toga party.
That once we all get our shots, let's.
Yep.
That's right. Moving along, you guys got anything to say else about this?
Nope.
What happened when we moved from buy weed in New York because they're gonna have a system out before Vermont does because Vermont's fucking stupid.
I think it'll be just the same as Massachusetts right now for us. I mean, Massachusetts has full-on legal dispensaries that you can go down and purchase as a Vermonter.
We can.
Yes. I mean, the initial issue was that it would run out like within the first like half part of the day. And like the demand was so high that they would just continue to run out and you'd get there and there'd be nothing left until they got resupplied the next day. I don't know if that's still a thing, but yeah, Massachusetts has been like that for a while.
Not that I'm saying I might take a trip down to Massachusetts.
Moving into the next topic for the evening, we're going to talk about Bad Baby made some money. And I wasn't 100% sure on who Bad Baby was, to be honest. But no. Wrong one. So the article, this is from Fox Business. And they basically say rapper Bad Baby set the internet ablaze, earning more than $1 million in only 6 hours on OnlyFans. And this is the part that blew my mind because I had no idea. I've heard this name a few times. I've heard the name Bad Baby. I had no idea who this chick was. Baby, whose real name is Danielle Bergoli, and who's also recognized as the viral Catch Me Outside girl, is charging. So we'll get into that in a minute. It's charging $23.99 a month for access to exclusive photos and videos on her OnlyFans page. Additionally, paying subscribers are also promised direct message access with Bergoli, who turned 18 on March 26th.
Ugh.
From now on, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, she captioned on an Instagram post on Wednesday. So first off, I want to ask you guys, how much money would you pay to go on Dr. Phil just so you could parlay that shit into $1 million or $4 million a day career?
Dude, if me going on Dr. Phil means I have to open up an OnlyFans account, maybe I'd do it.
I don't know, man. If they're going to pay me $1 million a day, I will 100% sign up. Mm-hmm. I'll post the most graphic content available.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I do it.
Yep. You want to see a video of Hickory shitting in public? You give me $1 million. Make it happen.
Right.
But yeah, the other part that blew my mind is she turned 18 on March 26th. And for clarification, it's April 5th. And this article came out, just to double check, was published April 3rd, which means she waited about a whole week before cashing in on her assets, which I assume was partly her just making sure that she got her like 18 age verification on OnlyFans before she went on.
Right.
But here, let's back to the article. This is her, not an exceptionally beautiful person or anything, but she shared a picture of metrics she claimed to be from her OnlyFans account in an Instagram post on the monetary figures, which I have pulled up right here. So right here, you could say in subscriptions, she made $757,526.08 in the first 6 hours of her account being up. She also made $5,502.35 on tips, and then $267,675 on messages, which I don't know how you make money messaging on OnlyFans, but that's I guess that's another route for revenue. And I should have done the math because 757, 526 divided by what, 24 bucks. That's a shitload of perverts waiting for this 18-year-old girl to post her shit on OnlyFans. I feel dirty just reading that. What do you guys think? It's this is where we're at. This is where fame is. It's like you go on Dr. Phil, you say some ridiculous shit, you become famous, you become friends with Cardi B, and then you wait till you turn 18 so you can sell your photos. Is this the American dream?
She was a minor a week ago. Like I want to know what magic formula happened that like, oh, she's 18, so I can see her titties now. Like I feel like a father figure. Like I want to be like, no, baby girl, don't do this. Don't let these men slide into your DMs and tell you what they want to do to you. Like you have so much to look forward to. And then I hear a song called Bad Bitch or Hi Bitch. And I'm like, you're already ruined. You probably had more dick than I've had vaginas in my life. More dick than I've had hot meals.
That's probably not a bad one. In the article, they go on to say that some OnlyFans users who sell X-rated photos of themselves online, which is funny because why would you be on OnlyFans if you weren't selling adult content? Isn't that the point of the site? Kevin, you got any added commentary before we move right in?
You're right. This is a sad state of affairs we're in, if that's what fame is now. To go from Dr. Phil to OnlyFans. Those two things...
And to go from a meme
aren't
from
related. What? Yeah. Just a meme from Dr. Phil to OnlyFans. I'm like, no, that's... no.
She never said, catch me outside. How about that?
Maybe she has that tattooed right above her vagina.
Or down the sides.
Yeah.
Catch me outside. Like, you're talking about anal? Anyways, we're going to move right along. Back in the headlines, our favorite superhero is back. Florida man, now improved with a face tattoo. And Kevin, I thought you would appreciate this because we have drawn some conclusions on what we think Florida man's face tattoo looks like. And I figured you might have an opinion as well. So the article is right here. Oh, God damn it, I keep hitting the wrong one. Florida man stole ambulance from hospital, got stuck in mud while approaching water, said the deputies. Kevin, what does this face tattoo make you think of? Because GW's assessment was more accurate than mine, but it still triggered a lot of childhood memories.
Yeah, did he like try to tattoo the Road Warriors face paint on his face? He knows that's just paint, right? He knows that's just paint, right? Like,
oh, that's so
he
good.
kind of looks like Sting, sort of, too. Like the pre-Crow Sting. Exactly.
I pulled this up because that was my first thought. And then GW happened to correct me, and he was like, no, dude, he looks like David Bowie. He did the David Bowie, like almost exactly.
Wow.
But not good. And
no.
But no, to me,
I'm the only one that didn't do a fucking wrestling reference.
To me, it looked like he was trying to get the Sting face paint, and all I could think was, well, maybe Florida man could only afford half of it, and then he ended up in the hospital, and now he's he's going to get the other half finished once he's better. I don't know, but God damn it, he is my hero. So not just a face tattoo, because that enough was gold, but what this gentleman did was a man in Hernando County, Florida, is accused accused of stealing an ambulance and getting it stuck in the mud. Well, we're no experts in committing grand theft auto, but we're pretty sure that could have gone way better. Trey Allen Cornwell, 29. So this guy has this shitty tattoo at 29. Imagine what that shit's going to look like when he's 60. Was arrested
If he's
Sunday.
alive by then.
That's a very good point, Kevin. I didn't even think about that. According to deputies, the ambulance crew was inside the Oak Hill Hospital to drop off a patient. It was 12:27 p.m. Cornwell allegedly used his time to make off with the vehicle, which is owned by Hernando County Fire and Emergency Services, which I don't feel like they need to clarify that an ambulance is owned by the emergency service people. It seems pretty... Yeah, anyways. Deputies say the defendant drove it down to the Cass Circle neighborhood near Port Court. But Port Court, what a fucked up. Florida's all sorts of interesting. But he got stuck in the mud and sand, as seen in the picture above. According to authorities, the vehicle had been approaching a body of water. How they phrased it: the suspect later identified Trey Cornwell, date of birth 3. He shares my birthday. Oh, that's a killer. He's 5 years younger than me, yeah, I've made it 5 years longer on this earth than he has, and I still don't have any shitty face tattoos. So maybe we need to change that. Drove the.
Do you even have tattoos?
No, I don't have a single tattoo. I've wanted one for my entire life, and I've just not entire life, since I was 16. I've just never gotten it because I've never been like, hey, I want to throw away some money.
It's not throwing away. It's about beautifying yourself.
I know, and it's art, and I should go get the pieces that I've always wanted. But now I've just never been at the point where it's like, I want to spend $300 on this ink that doesn't really do anything.
I'm the only asshole on the show that has a tattoo, right?
Kevin, do you have any?
No.
I really want.
Not a needle fan.
I really want some utilitarian tattoos. Like I've wanted I want a ruler on my calf, so that when I'm fishing, I can hold fish up to it when we take pictures, and then we have a record of how big the fish actually was because there's a accurate ruler on my calf. And then I've also wanted one, since my dad has allergies, I thought we could get one together. That's just a big circle on our thigh, and it says "Stab EpiPen here."
Ooh,
and that way,
I like that one.
Useful.
And that way we have a mark that are like for when the idiot that stabs us with the EpiPen doesn't know what he's doing. We could just be
right.
Arc.
What you should do is get the dartboard in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be really good
on your thigh.
Yeah.
So like you could actually get points for where you stab in.
That's a really good idea. I guess the real reward would be saving our lives. But
maybe.
Yeah, maybe not. That's basically all we got on Florida Man here. Basically he's got a $10,000 bond for Grand Theft Auto, and that's it. But the real star of the show is this shitty face tattoo, because anybody who has that shitty face tattoo should definitely have it. We should talk about. Oh crap! The problem with dual screens is I lose my mouse sometimes. Jason was commenting about Bad Baby. He said won't take long before she's on Pornhub. And then Nick Water says, I want Woody Woodpecker on my calf so I can say my pecker is below my knees. See, that would be a great use of tattoo as well, my friend. I'm not opposed to that. We're moving to the next article. You guys are good?
Yeah.
This one could be a little uncomfortable. We're going to talk about Vermont's race-based medicine. I'm sure you guys saw this come up recently. Have you guys seen articles on this? I do have one pulled up just in case. So Governor, not that guy. That's Florida. Vermont. Vermont under fire. This is I think I pulled up Newsweek. I try to pull up sources that are mainstream. Vermont under fire for disturbing COVID vaccine based on race, which is probably the worst headline I've seen describing this whole fiasco. Basically, they say Vermont has come under fire for expanding vaccine eligibility to individuals 16 or older who identify, which is a weird way to phrase it, who identify as Black, Indigenous, or a person of color over 2 weeks before offering all races the same access. Rhino Governor Phil Scott announced the initiative on Thursday in an effort to address racial disparities associated with the coronavirus pandemic. If you or anyone, actually, we'll just read the tweet. It says, if you or anyone in your household identifies as Black, Indigenous, or POC, including anyone with Abenaki or other First Nations heritage, all household members who are 16 years or older can sign up to get a vaccine. Which seems like a very, very strange way to roll out vaccines to me. The decision falls in line with earlier moves by state leadership and the health department to target communities who are at higher risk for contracting COVID-19 and may have more difficulty accessing health benefits. As part of our strategy to prioritize Vermonters most at risk or severe illness save lives, we have also begun vaccinating Vermonters in communities that have unique needs, such as people who speak languages other than English and people who are homebound. The Vermont COVID-19 vaccine website states. Yes, they do state that there is non-citizen immigrants that are receiving the vaccine before the rest of the populace as well. We still have much more to do to address the significant disparities in the rates of COVID-19 infection, hospitalization, and death among Vermonters who are Black, Indigenous, peoples of color, the website adds. This coordinated vaccine effort is an important step in working with and compensated trust and community partner networks to reach some of the most historically marginalized people in Vermont. And I'll let you guys talk real quick before I get into how I feel about this. G-Dubs, you got
Rochambeau.
So you want me to go first?
No, I'll go first. I understand why they feel the need to do this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it was short-sighted, and I think that we could have done things as a state to allow everyone, regardless of color, to get the vaccine if they choose to. I think this effort is very short-sighted, because they're not actually addressing the reasons why people of color are are more susceptible to COVID compared to white people, especially in the state. Like you don't see a lot of people of color hanging out in the backwoods of Vermont all by themselves. They're more segregated, for the lack of a better term. I am too drunk to.
I think you're gonna say into urban areas in Vermont.
Yeah. They're more in urban areas and in close proximity to each other. That is part of the reason why they are more at risk than the rural Vermonter.
Yeah.
I think there was ways of doing this better than saying, hey, anyone who is 16 over who's a POC can get the shot now.
Right.
Kevin, what do you think? Do you have an opinion on this either way?
Yeah, I think what they were trying to do, from what I got from the article you read to us, was that they're just trying to get the people with the higher risks. They want the higher risk people to be, vaccinated first before the low risk people. That's all they're basically doing. And the way they worded it was a complete screw up. It
was I felt like it was very Trump-tastic of him.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, hey, we got this issue that actually needs work, but I'm going to call it the Muslim ban or any of the other ridiculous over-the-top things that came it down. And I'd like to read a couple tweets from people responding to this. Oh, God damn it. Matt Walsh, conservative commentator Matt Walsh said, wildly unconstitutional and absurdly unethical. And he's a Republican, of course. If that's what you choose to call Governor Scott.
Is he, though?
I call him Rhino, but that's me. He's a Republican that can win in Vermont, which is not very Republican or conservative. And I will say, I've said this before. The only reason Phil Scott won his first one is because Sue Minter was, she was like a Bloomberg style gun control person and wanted to ban everything.
Yeah.
And that's when Governor Scott won his first one. And then since then, the people going up against him have been wildly progressive.
Right.
He hasn't really had like a moderate Democrat run against him.
Right.
Well, and part of that makes me think because he is a moderate Democrat with an R after his name.
No,
really.
I voted for him.
No, and I did too, because he was the best option on the ballot, which is often how I vote at this point in my life.
Yep.
I will say I did not vote for him. I won't say who I voted for.
We'll still pretend to love you. No, it's okay. Did you write in yourself, GW?
I did. Well, what it was 2 years ago or so when the fucking baseball player from the Red Sox were running, like
a couple years ago.
Yeah, I voted for him.
I
will say, even though it was for the Liberty Caucus Party, which is total commie party, I was like, fuck it. He's not gonna win. I'll vote for him.
Right.
Writing in Mickey Mouse. I love it. Right. Chris Rufio, the conservative nonprofit Discovery Institute, told Fox News Friday that the issue is a violation of constitutional rights, which I would agree. Vermont's program of racially segregated standards, which denies medical services to a specific racial group, is a flagrant violation of the 14th Amendment, he said in the outlet. It follows the logic of critical race theory, which demands that society practice racial discrimination to rectify racial disparities, but is not compatible with American law. Sadly, Vermont is another example of state neo-racism that has gained in popularity in recent years. Public interest lawyers should be immediately file suit against the governor. Data journalist G.L.A. Morris added Friday that the decision seems like an ethically questionable way to address racial disparities in vaccines, which I would agree with. Vermont's decision to address racial disparities in the coronavirus pandemic, which I will correct Newsweek and say they did not. They simply offered the vaccine first. They didn't rectify anything. Really, they just drew national attention to the fact that, some Republicans are racist as shit.
Yeah.
That was my stance on it. Was like, I almost had to message Collen. I'm like, I guess you are right. The GOP is racist. I got to admit it on this one. Not every single one of them, but I'll admit that anybody who puts out a law like that is definitely not on the not on the side of everybody being equal.
No, I think the way they've handled this whole vaccination rollout is been wrong from the get-go. Like,
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. I would agree that truck drivers and grocery store employees didn't come before teachers is a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Because
teachers,
I don't want to offend people, but teachers are non-essential completely. As much as I think education is important, I think the role of a teacher and paying somebody to educate children is far less necessary than the people that provide food to everybody else. And that I don't think they're completely non-essential, because some education is important. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to disparage educators. I just think the fact that they were the first in line for vaccines, even though they're teaching online, was asinine. And the fact that grocery store cashiers still make minimum wage and have to stand there and talk to 400 people a day who God knows who they came from wherever.
That's bullshit.
You don't know if they've quarantined. You don't know if they're vaccinated. Most places, most big grocery stores and gas stations, you can't say shit if they're not wearing a mask, because they don't want to cause that, social tension in their business. And the whole rollout's been a shit show.
No, I agree.
Just like most things with this pandemic. I'm glad we could all agree on that, even though
quite frankly, the whole thing's been a shit show.
Oh yeah.
The past year, it's been a shit show.
Yeah. The past year and a month now. We're coming up on it soon.
Yeah. It's the whole fucking thing.
But hey, if it wasn't for this shit show, we wouldn't be here right now.
This is
exactly.
true.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be going on.
What's your
almost
point,
a year.
GW? What's your point? You're proving mine.
Which reminds us that we are coming up on a year of the Drunken Under Quarantine show in just a few short weeks.
So close. I can feel it.
Oh yeah, we're about to climax, and then it's all downhill in season 2. As most shows
The
work.
fact that you have to have a season 2 is just...
Yeah, Kevin, I was really hoping we'd change the fucking name by then, and it would be like the Drunken Underinformed show, or
right,
something like that. But no, we're rolling into season 2 of the Drunken Under Quarantine show. Hopefully by the second quarter, we're looking at a name change. But
I'm thinking July.
Yeah, we'll feel it out. So
yeah,
hopefully by quarter 2 we'll change the name and it'll be we'll be back to normal-ish, and we'll be performing out live for audiences again, and
I hope so.
Having fun, socially interacting, and not feeling like a leper when we go out to a restaurant.
Have you guys been vaccinated yet? Or is that not a proper question to ask?
I'm halfway there.
Whoa,
okay.
He's living on a prayer. No,
Yeah.
I am not.
Yeah.
I don't qualify until April 19th or something. So,
right.
Thank you, diabetes.
Hey, diabetes.
I would say both my parents are, and that's really all that really matters. Like, as far as me, it's like, okay.
Yeah. I got vaccinated like 2 months ago. So.
Yep. My sister did.
Yep.
Most of my older friends have been. So, they're the ones that I'm really worried about anyways. So I feel like once the high risk people are, like, I'll feel a lot better about my own personal, and not being like I need to rush to do it because they're safe.
Right. I figured we can see if the high risk people die first, if we want to take it or not.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm like one of those guys that's like, well, I'm, I'll let the people that need it go first and not try to hop in line before, because there's a lot of 35-year-olds who don't have a diagnosed health condition that need it more than I do.
Yeah.
So, with that said, you guys got anything you want to get off your chest before we get on out of here?
I'm good, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kev,
thank you, Jason. Thank you, Nick.
Yes, thank you guys for showing up. This was a good show. I had fun. Mm-hmm. Kevin, thank you for hopping in last minute, brother.
We really
appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Please follow Kevin McTaggart at McTaggart Attack on the Twitter and the TikTok and the YouTube and the Facebook and Instagram. Too delicious. Please follow GW Foley at Foley Kills on Instagram, Parler, YouTube. Do you have a YouTube, G-Dubs?
I do. Nothing's on it.
Okay. And
I stopped using mine.
I was gonna say I didn't see a video up last Wednesday morning.
I'm sick and tired of putting my podcast on YouTube because it takes too much time.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, please follow the McTaggart Attack podcast wherever podcasts are available as well, because you won't see those on YouTube anymore, which really messed up my Wednesday shower routine. I'm not gonna lie.
You can still listen to it in the shower.
I know. I don't have a podcast app on that tablet, so I gotta get one. And next week on the show, Mr. Chris Hayes will be back. That'll be super fun. That'll be episode 50. Holy shit. And then the following week's episode 51, Nick Grandchamp will be on the show. That's gonna be great. And then we're on what?
Nothing.
Just kidding. That's good. And then episode 52 is right around the corner. Very exciting, big cast. It's going to be fun. Kevin will be back. Can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome.
Do me a favor on the Grand Champ episode and have a topic. Bret Hart, overrated?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. On the Grand Champ episode. Thank you.
I'll make a note right now. Bret Hart.
Overrated.
I will not remember that, so I will definitely bring that up on the show. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for commenting. Having a good time. Nick said, as always, he's on Farmers Only. I don't know who you're talking about, Nick, but that would be funny too. Are you talking about Kevin and all his social accounts? because you can follow me at HickoryTDAU on Facebook, Instagram, Parler, TikTok, YouTube, and next season we're looking like it's going to be going on podcast platforms, so that's cool. I've also started uploading segments of the show on YouTube. GW on Farmers Only.
That's right.
That's actually where we found him for the show. Is I was looking for a late night cattle call, and I thumbed across GW's photo. But yeah, we'll be back next season, or we'll be back next week with Chris Hayes. But yeah, Instagram, Parler, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you may find the Drunken Underwhelming. I only post to a few of those regularly, but there are clips of the Drunken Under Quarantine show up on YouTube, which are just small digestible clips of certain segments, and they go up 5 days a week in the morning. And yeah, we'll see you all guys next time. I hope everybody out there remembers to stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Most importantly, in these trying times, stay fucking sane, and laugh like we do. Don't hate your neighbors, no matter how much they differ from you. We'll see you guys next week.